Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be taking part in a returning-ish, but also probably just considered brand new format for Magic Arena. That's going to be the Arena Cube Draft. So this is essentially draft, however it's got a curated card pool of singleton cards, which are usually very high-powered stuff. Now, I haven't played any of this myself, but I have seen a little bit of what is in store for us in terms of this queue anyway. From what I've seen, actually, it seems that mono red is like really powerful, so that's something we've got to keep our eyes out for. But other than that, everything seems at least somewhat playable, which is a really good sign for something like a cube. You can really just build whatever you want and do at least reasonably well, from what I've seen anyway. I'm sure there's a few colour combos that are just absolutely turbo gash, but that's to be figured out later down the line. So, for those who haven't yet used the cube draft and are maybe thinking of doing that, Wizards has actually provided a free cube for everyone on their first time around. Other than that, though, it will cost 4,000 gems, 4,000 gold and 600 gems, which to go even is 5 wins. 5 wins and 3 losses, and you've paid for the event yourself. It's not really a event to go infinite in and make lots and lots of sweet gold monies. It's more for a fun kind of casual event, and that's how we're going to be treating it anyway. I expect I'm going to be losing gold in this particular format at least, but yeah, let's see how we do anyway. See if we can get our 5 wins and 3 losses. If I get that, I'm completely happy. Cannot be upset with a free cubed, or at least in this particular case, the first one around is actually just going to straight up generate us some gold to pay for the next cube if we decide to do it again. But yeah, if you enjoy our cube, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get to the drafting portion. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Alright, we're in, I think that's probably the better viewpoint for you guys. Oh my god, Enchantress's Presence. Oh my god, what do we do? I should point out that I don't draft very often, so there's a good chance that I do something very bad. Typically for my drafts, it either goes extremely well or extremely badly. It's one or the other, so we'll see what we want to do. I really don't know. Do we just like take Settle the Wreckage? Or do I just take Enchantress's Presence because it's like an absolutely beastly card? Green just doesn't seem like there's much here though, so I think I might just take Settle the Wreckage. There's a lot of white in this pack. Niv Mizzet, we could go for a 5-color build there. It would require us to get a lot of mana fixing as well, but there is Chromatic Lantern. I could see that being a case. I really don't want to go with Niv Mizzet for my first draft. I feel like we could just really struggle with that one. Blue-white Flyers could be a thing as well. We did just pass the Sky Cat, and we've got Empyrean Eagle here, so blue-white Flyers maybe is a thing. Other than that, though, there's nothing that we'd expect to come back that really matches that kind of strategy. That's a tough one. Could stick to white with Venerated Loxodon. Might just take Chromatic Lantern for the fixing, though, to be honest. Yeah, so take the Lantern. Nyx Bloom Ancient, Gilded Lures, oh my god, I love it all. Secluded Step. I really don't like the cycling lands. I think every time I run them, they screw me. It's not that they're bad cards, I think it's just bad for me. There is a Storm Tamer here, so if all the flying stuff does actually come back, that's going to be really nice. Or do we just go for like big Gilded Lotus ramp? Honestly, I'm Ming at this point. It's hard to decide what to do here when there is just so many fun cards in this cube. Oh, we could go big ramp. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Karn's Temporal Sundering. Love that card. That's just absolutely fantastic. I think we might take that and go like blue-white. Seems pretty open. Yeah, let's do it. Khan's Temporal Sundering. We're gonna need some legends, but that shouldn't be too difficult to pull off. Got Nyx Lotus. I am ruining this draft. I can't help myself, alright? It's just too much like good fun. I don't think Nyx Lotus is the pick. I don't know if any of these cards are the pick though. This just seems like a bad pack for us. We could take the On-Color All-Seed, but it doesn't seem to really gel with what we're doing at the moment. Thassa's Oracle could be a fun combo piece. If we can draw our entire deck out, I might just take it. Flood of Tears, excuse me. And Fae of Wishes, oh my god. Oh my god. I want it all. I want it all. Let's go with... It's so difficult. I am loving this draft already, even though I've probably made the worst deck imaginable. Flood of Tears or Fae of Wishes? Let's go Fae of Wishes. We got that sideboard tech then. Black Blade. Love Black Blade. Might just take Sinister Sabotage though. We're going very hard into blue right now. And there is a treasure map though. You know me. I love me a treasure map. Helps fix that mana. Let's do it. So what have we built so far? It's a rampy blue-whitey deck that can probably really easily splash a third color if we wanted to. Talrand, Sky Summoner. I think that's straight up going in our deck as the legendary that enjoys instants and sorceries. Didn't say please. Sphinx of the Foresight. So that blue-white flying creature, the Sky Cat, didn't come back. I believe this was the same pack. I might just take counter spells. Yeah, let's do it. I think this was the Nyx Lotus pack as well, so someone's probably in Devotion. If I had to guess. I don't know what the pick is in this one. Is it just Field of Ruin? That feels bad. I don't think this is a Field of Ruin deck necessarily. Let's just take Frilled Mystic, I suppose. Probably not going to run it, but here we are. You know I have to. I absolutely have to. And then Mythos of Aluna is just a cool card. Portal of Sanctuary. I mean, it's the only currently on-color card, so we'll take it. And Flood of Tears came back. Oh my god, so good. Okay. Alright, so we might be trying to do Flood of Tears shenanigans, and we got Terramander. Blue is so open right now. Ashiok is a splashable card for not very much effort whatsoever. I don't think I'm necessarily going to run either of these cards. I could splash them off Gilded Lotus, so that's something to determine later down the line. So, Hydroid Krasis is really good with Gilded Lotus and Chromatic Lantern. Will get us into this game quite easily, and it's extremely easy to splash. I think that might be the pick. I am tempted to go with an Ashiok, though. Ashiok does look like a lot of fun. But I feel like it's just Hydroid Krasis. That one we actually will probably keep in the deck. Got Jace, so we can do some self-milling. What's our creatures looking like? We got 5 creatures. They're all flying for the most part. Oh, they make flyers at least. So Winged Words isn't the worst. I don't mind a Dream Eater though. We've got the self-mill win con, so we don't really need Jace if we wanted to go down that route. Have we got any humans? Absolutely no humans, so Of One Mind is worse than Winged Words. By quite a fair bit. I think we're taking Winged Words. Teferi. And it's hard not to. It's hard not to just slam Teferi in this deck and go Bant. This pack's not going to be too good for us, though. Probably want that Disdainful Stroke to come back. I'd accept the Seal away, though. Shalai. Eye's pretty good. And Blink of an Eye. Oh my god. Ugh. It's probably Blink of an Eye. Gives us that early gameplay. Bit of card draw. Commence the endgame. Thassa's Intervention. Okay. I think Big Ramp means, like, Thassa's Intervention's probably pretty decent. Fabled Passage, though, does help out a fair bit. We can splash, like, a single forest for Hydroid Crasis, so we don't have to rely on the Lantern, Gilded Lotus, and Treasure Map. I probably don't want to turn up Fixing whenever it pops up. Brazen Borrower is solid. We'd hope that Chemisters comes back. So let's do that. Psychic Corrosion. And an on-color Cycler. We do draw a lot of cards, right? In a roundabout fashion, for sure. Bottle of Sanctuary plus both Fae of Wishes and Brazen Borrower is quite nice. I don't know if we're still running it, but... Each opponent. I can't use that on ourselves. I need to take it, though. And almost ran out of time. Atris. I think we're taking Midnight Clock. It's another mana rock for Flood of Tears. Dismal Backwater. I don't really care about the rest of the cards that are here, to be honest. So I might just take that as Fixing. Put my my lands in the sideboard. Take Jace.
We can figure a way out of this.
Hopefully. Hopefully we can. Yeah, it looks like we're like a blue, mono blue splash for Bant. It's mono blue Bant. Disdainful Stroke came back. Nice. Nice, nice. Get them sweet counter spells in here. This is such a weird deck. Such a weird deck. We've got lots of legendaries, though, to actually enable Khan's Temporal Sundering, so I'm really happy with that. And if we do get, like, the Chromatic Lantern and whatnot set up, it's probably Exclusion Mage over Field of the Dead. Oh, no. Alright, well, we know blue's really open. I might take the Intervention. It's both card draw and counter magic, so it's real good. Although, Commence the Endgame definitely is also very good for us. This looks sweet. This looks really, really sweet. And Chemisters came back. Yes. Alright. Angrath's Rampage to the sideboard. Chroma's Memorial. Probably not. Reconnaissance Mission. I think we take Temple for Fixing. So we are kind of blue splash white most of all, so the Temple's really nice. Yeah, that's probably it. We could maybe even get away with a Finale X10, but that's probably pushing it. Take the Temple. Charter Course. Callous Dismissal. There is a Mind Stone. Mind Stone for the Flood of Tears, really useful. So it's between Mind Stone, Dismissal... Oh, there's even an Essence Scatter down here. This pack's really good for us. I think I'm going to take the most open card, because no one's really seeming to take blue. So this is the most likely card to go. And then it'll make my decision easier later down the line with the other three cards when they inevitably don't get picked, and I have to choose again. Body Double. Scholar. Baffling End's not the worst. Though having that splashed right at the very early game is probably a little bit iffy. If this was any graveyard, I'd probably consider the Concoct. I mean, Body Double is any graveyard. But we don't have kill spells is the problem. So I think I'm taking Scholar. Yeah, it's probably just Scholar. Tezzeret, Helm of the Host. My immortal son. Why are you not suitable for my deck? I hate it, but I love it. Hello, my son. Okay, what's Helm of the Host doing? It's copying Talrand's. We've already kind of got things to do that, though. I don't think it's Helm of the Host. I could see Tezzeret being very good. We have a lot of artifacts. Yeah, I think that's probably the pick. Fibblethip Spark Double. Oh my god. I love blue. Blue's amazing. This one's a tough one. For sure. It might just be Fibblethip. Although, I guess he's going to table as well. Yeah, I'll take Spark Double with Fibblethip probably coming back. Mox Amber's really good. Shark Typhoon's really good. We don't have the early game legends, which is why I'm not so into Mox Amber necessarily. And I don't think it's like on the list of really awesome stuff we could be doing. Zagoth Triome's not really on the colour combination that we're looking for, though it does help me splash Zagoth for Hydroid Krasis, so maybe it's the pick, but I'm going to go with Shark Typhoon. Emery, Time Wipe, I like. Yeah, let's take Time Wipe. Deputy, Evolving Wilds is probably the pick here. More fixing. All the fixing. Skittering Surveyor, probably. Recon mission's pretty good, though I don't see ourselves actually making use of this. Like, we're just drawing cards in general. And yep, the 3 cards that I thought might actually come right on back have indeed done so. Essence Scatter or Dismissal, I think, is the pick. Probably, I want to say Essence Scatter. Yeah, let's pick Essence Scatter. Body Double. It's probably going to get more use than Favorable Winds is. Oh, Helm. You know I have to Helm. It's just the way it has to be. And Fibblethip came back. Oh, thank you. Thank you, other drafters, for not picking any blue cards and leaving them all for me. So good. This deck is a thing. It's honestly, I would consider this artwork. It is just a piece of art. Probably gonna have to trim down the top end a little bit, admittedly. Devotion to Blue, don't mind if I do. And an Emery that I don't know if I'm gonna use, but it's there, waiting for server. That's exactly what you want to see towards the end of a draft. All right, we've done it. Okay, so we got 55 cards we have to cut down. As I mentioned, probably the top end wants to come down a little bit. We didn't end up picking any black creatures like Ashiok, or black planeswalkers like Ashiok, so the Dismal Backwater's not splashing for anything. However, the Temple is, the Evolving Wilds is, and the Fable Passage is. So that's really nice. We'll get to the lands soon enough. We could probably afford to cut one, to be honest, if we're going to go down any of these bad boys. I think Scholar plus Flood of Tears is just too good to cut, in all honesty. It's a really hard one. It might not even be cut the top end as a reasonable option here. Because the thing is, like, we've got all of this ramp. We've got the Mind Stones, the Treasure Maps, the Chromatic Lanterns, and the Gilded Lotuses. And all of those are going to be mana rocks that help Flood of Tears come into play really nicely, as well as all of our top end anyway. And if we do get to like the Flood of Tears, then we just open up Scholar coming into play, resolving, bringing back Flood of Tears, and we can just rinse and repeat as long as Scholar lives, which is awesome. I think Fey of Wishes is out. The likelihood is that I'm not going to be cutting cards that I'm going to be tutoring for. We do need some early game blockers, so this Threnody Singer might end up having to just stick around. We've got like lots and lots of disruption is what we're really doing. I'm not sure Emery's really what we have in mind here. Maybe if I had the Mox Amber as one of my picks, I might have kept it. But we're just not going to mill anything over that's too good, to be honest. Helm of the Host, how are you doing? It's got some options here. Helm. Some of these are not exactly, like, the best targets. Could be Spark Double, Talrand. Body Double, potentially. It's like we could actually steal our opponent's best creature by, like, countering it or milling it with Didn't Say Please. Making a copy of, like, Ulamog, and then helming up Ulamog. Oh, that's gonna be so fun. Probably get rid of Psychic Corrosion. It's like an alternative win con, but I'm not sure it's one that we need necessarily. So we'll cut that. This is likely going to be a draft portion that I end up cutting down the middle so that we can... So I can make some cuts off camera, because this one does not look like it's easy to actually trim down. I don't mind Skittering Surveyor, but is it something that I really realistically need? And is Hydroid Krasis just cheesy? I suppose we really do want things like Hydroid Krasis. If we've got Thassa's Oracle and Jason here as a self-mill kind of win con, then drawing too many cards with Hydroid Krasis, Teferi, and Tezzeret just seems really good. Just seems like a really good idea. Maybe we go down the Body Double. It's cute. That's pretty much all I can say about it. What's our instant sorcery count? 7 and 5. Might not want Terramander. Ugh. Yeah, I think I'm going to make a quick cut here, guys, so I'll be back when I've decided what I want to do with this deck, and, you know, if it ends up being bad, then it's something that we can swap out in games 2 and 3 until we lose, I guess, but yeah, I'm really excited to see what this deck ends up becoming, so I'll make a quick cut here, and then I'll see you when I'm done, and we'll discuss what happened. Okay, so I think I've got this deck down to its finest point. I'm not going to lie, this was an extremely hard deck to cut pieces out of, and some of them, they pained me, but I think that they had to be done. The one notable thing is that we actually are no longer splashing Hydroid Krasis. I think it was probably just a little bit too much of a meme and a little bit unnecessary. I ended up putting Psychic Corrosion back in, and I've kind of decided that that's my new win con, essentially. So you might see that Thassa's Oracle is out of the deck now. It's because I figured that I would be ending up running Midnight Clock anyway as a mana rock to enable Flood of Tears, but Midnight Clock kind of goes against the self-mill strategy to a certain extent. So in the case of Thassa's Oracle, that kind of just had to go. Jace is still in here because he actually is card advantage as well as a mill win con. We can actually mill the top 2 cards of our opponent's library over, so we don't have to target ourselves to go for that self-mill win con. But if we end up getting there just naturally anyway, we still have his passive ready to go. So yeah, I think we're going all in essentially on the corrosion and the mill strategy in general. Running a little bit of a control game with counter magic in the early game, and a lot of bounce with like Brazen Borrowers and Blink of an Eyes, and we've got some board wipes in Settle the Wreckage and Time Wipe as well, so we can reset that board. As we mentioned earlier, we've kind of got this Flood of Tears plus Scholar of Ages kind of combo as well, so we still have all those mana rocks in the deck to allow us to essentially reset the board as a third board wipe. And then Scholar of Ages can get back Flood of Tears, as well as things like Mythos of Aluna. Mythos of Aluna is going to be really good because we can copy Psychic Corrosion with that, as well as our opponent's permanents, should they have something like a crazy cool Planeswalker. Speaking of, we got Tezzeret and Teferi, both of which draw us cards to find that Psychic Corrosion, and then when Psychic Corrosion's in play, they actually draw trigger as well for the Psychic Corrosion win con. We got Spark Double in here as well, so we can copy Tezzeret, Teferi, or Jace, or even Scholar of Ages as well. Lots of opportunities in here. I mean, even just a nice value copy of an Exclusion Mage to bounce. That's essentially what our early game is going to be. It's basically slowing down tempo. I'm not sure how we're going to do against the aggro decks, because, you know, playing a counter game against the aggro decks isn't going to be particularly good, but I think we're going to be able to punish the slower decks quite a fair bit. Especially stabilizing quite nicely, but I guess if we're up against like mono red and it doesn't have 6 mana Chandra, like the Settle the Wreckages and the Time Wipes and maybe the Flood of Tears if we can ramp into them early enough, actually might turn the tables. One card that was pretty difficult for me to cut, but I ended up thinking that I probably should anyway, was Body Double. I feel like this card is just... It is really good when you're milling your opponent, and we could hit some really good stuff, but the fact that we can only hit creatures just really didn't sit quite right with me, to be honest. I feel like there's a good chance that this can be dead in a fair few matchups if our opponents decide to go for like a Super Friends build. And then there's just obviously the chance that they might not have actually good creatures. If they're playing aggro, we don't really want to pay 5 mana to copy a Gitu Lava Runner or something like that. So really, it's only going to be that good if, like, we've got our own big creatures, which we don't. I feel like you have to enable this with your own graveyard in order to really, truly justify it, because we're going to be stealing from our opponent's graveyard 9 times out of 10 if we include this card, and I just don't know if that's necessarily something we want to do. And then Fae of Wishes. Most of the cards I end up cutting ended up being creatures, so the granted side of it's not going to be too good. Portal of Sanctuary and Thassa's Oracle could be okay, I suppose, but it's just not really too much there. Shark Typhoon was basically my cut off the top end as well. As I mentioned, I wanted to kind of do that. It was not an easy one to cut because I absolutely love this card. But I think, again, with all the board wipes like Time Wipe and Flood of Tears, which we're hopefully trying to loop, I don't see Shark Typhoon building that big board full of sharks, although maybe the sharks are what keeps us from dying a lot of the time. I'm not sure. I'm going to basically lean a little bit harder on my board wipes. Rather than the sharks, we could build off the Shark Typhoon. But yeah, that's essentially the deck. We're strictly blue-white now. We're not splashing for anything for the memes. I know some of you might be disappointed in that. I'm a little disappointed in myself for not having Helm of the Host, but this is just not a card I could justify, really. We'd need something like Spark Double on Talrand, and, you know, we've kind of got a little mini Helm of the Host here, but Spark Double's just a little bit more effective in that it can copy Planeswalkers, which I think is very useful for us. But yeah, if you do enjoy the deck, then make sure to hit that like button. If you want to see more Cube, hit that like button. Subscribe as well for more Cube in the future. I think we're going to have a good time with this, so I imagine we're going to be cubing a little bit more. But hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button, leaving a comment down below, all lets me know that you guys want to see more of this, and maybe I won't just make it myself and play this in my own time, but yeah, really looking forward to seeing how well this deck does. I'm a little worried, but we're going to give it a shot. All right, hope you enjoy. Okay, Professor Edelson, please be gentle. It's been a while since I've played some Magic Cube. Okay, let's go. This hand looks fine. We've got some counter magic on turn 2. We've got a scry so we don't hit something we don't want. Do we want that? Do we want that? I think not. I think not. It's really good to be on the play as well, since we get that early aim Essence Scatter, and this is the kind of format where an Essence Scatter should be pretty useful. Alright, Professor. Please play Magic the Gathering to at least an acceptable standard. All I ask. Eh, who knows? Temple of Abandon. Okay. So, if it is just Gruul, we might be in trouble. Alright, let's hold open that Essence Scatter. Opponent with the Castle Ardenvale into a Reese, which I don't think we care about. That's something we can time wipe later if we really mind. And we got Psychic Corrosion as well, which is awesome. Means we can get our win con down next turn. Treasure map. Sure. Can't do nothing about that. We do need the double white for the time wipe as well, so that's what I'll grab with my Evolving Wilds. And just hope there's a land on top, to be honest. Could that be a shock? It may very well be, but I'm going to get down Psychic Corrosion regardless. And just drop my guard here. I think it's just pretty important. Apologies, that's me. Oh, we shuffled it back into the top. Okay, Psychic Corrosion. Whenever you draw a card, each opponent puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. Let me put my phone on silent. Because I forgot. Boop. Problem solved. Alright. Captain Lannery Storm. Love it. It's really good with Treasure Map as well, since every attack gives you that treasure token. And they can even do some treasure map scrying. Alright. Land. So we could go Mindstone and hold up an Essence Scatter. That's probably the best line we could take. And then it does open us up if we get a land next turn to actually time wipe whatever they do here. Kind of sucks that treasure map's going to flip quite easily though. And Lannery Storm is certainly going to generate some card advantage for them. I'd say that they have the better deck in general. But who knows? I mean, we are kind of punishing draw to a certain extent, since whenever we draw, we mill 2 over. And if they're drawing, they're just speeding up our clock. Which is real nice. And then, gonna take that treasure map. Okay. Planes. And swings. This only does creature tokens, right? Yeah. Just checking. Gotta be careful with Lannery Storm as well, because she can get pumped really huge. If we're not careful. Gilded Lotus. These are all cards that I wish I had. So, do I actually counter a creature if they play one here? I don't think I do. Flip treasure map. Because if I draw a land, then I'm just going to time wipe. So I think I'll take that chance. Though it's pretty sketchy, to be honest. Come on, land. Land. Give me a land. Give me the lands. It's my time. Hand it over. My turn. Oh, keep stopping me, bro. Oh, it's a Tezzeret. Oof. 2 pretty cool cards just went into the bin. Alright, what do we do then? We're taking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-ish. I think I'm just going to go with Chromatic Lantern and hold up in that Essence Scatter again, in case there's like a hasty creature, but that should open up Time Wipe next turn. We're going to take too much damage, probably, to really do much here. So far, not so great for this deck. That's fine. Anything that doesn't have haste, I honestly don't care about. And to a certain extent. Oh. I think I'm dead. I think that's a pretty nutty draw from them. And the Circle of Loyalty, oh my goodness. Triggers for Lannery Storm. There's not what we can do. Yeah. That's how you absolutely ruffle stomp someone. Bring it in. Bring it in. Now I'm wishing that I'd gone AFK. Miss a land drop and just everything falls apart. Alright, 0-1. Eh. Okay, we're in. We got 2 lands on the play with an Essence Scatter. It's not the greatest hand in the world, but honestly, just a land is ideal, so I'm going to keep this one. Just hope our opponent isn't yet again playing more aggro. That would be brutal, unfortunately. Temple of Mystery. Okay, good start. That means we got our Essence Scatter open. Just give me a land. Mox Amber. Okay. Thank you, deck. Appreciate you. Gilded Goose. I will counter that. It's not the best counter target in the world, admittedly, but killing ramp seems ideal. We've got a counter unless you pay 2 now on basically anything they play if we want to. Or I could look at the top 1 card. Yeah, that's getting countered. X1. Don't want Mox Amber, tap in for 2 mana. She taps for 0 right now. And a tap lands. Oh, thank Christ. Okay, so we got Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, which we can start the mill and hopefully find the land we need for the Gilded Lotus. Oh, they've got an Uro. Are you kidding me? Oh, no. Oh, that's pretty grim. And we even got an Evolving Wilds as well. Alright, Dryad makes all lands 5 color. We're going to start with Jace to see if we can get something better, which we didn't really, but Disdainful Stroke's okay-ish. Okay-ish. Yeah, we're just going to pass. Duel at 8. Alright, big spell. Play a big spell. I really want you to set that up for me. I think they're just going for which, if we draw a land, we can Flood of Tears. Doesn't feel amazing. Although, actually, no, we can go for Khan's Temporal Sundering and bounce it and take an extra turn. That's probably what we're going to do. Alright, we'll crack this for a Plains now. Boop. 3 mana, although it might not appear it in the graveyard, so we can't Disdainful Stroke. And then Jace takes a little bit of a chin tickle.
No one likes a bully.
That's right, Jace. That's right, you tell him.
It's a matter of give and take.
Alright, that's a good hit. Okay, so, from there, we are going to go with Khan's Temporal Sundering, take an extra turn, and then we'll bounce Uro. It's not the best Khan's Temporal Sundering, I'll give you that. But it's the one that we've got. Fabled Passage. Crack that for a plane, so we've got Settle the Wreckage open. Could go with Tezzeret and hold up in Disdainful Stroke. That doesn't seem too bad. Or we could just go Gilded Lotus into Tezzeret. We've seen Maelstrom Pulse from them. So they probably have something nice. I do kind of want to set up Flood of Tears, to be honest. So I think I might drop my guard and see what happens. We'll go Tezzeret. And just make...
This will be over.
Draw a card.
Cold logic will always
Midnight Clock. Okay. 21 to their 20. We're halfway through their life total now. And there's Beanstalk Giant. That's great. Absolutely fine with that. Unless we draw something off the top, there's probably no realistic way. Actually, we got Mythos of Illuna on Gilded Lotus, I suppose. We can actually enable Tezzeret's draw too. Alright, gonna go after Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. We got a Time Wipe, that's lovely. So do we want to go with big mana then? With a Mythos? The problem is, if we enable like Flood of Tears, we're gonna lose that card. Then we'll go 3 mana, Midnight Clock. Should be doing this first as well. Mill. Got Scholar. Now that doesn't make me feel too bad about going for a Mythos on Gilded Lotus. Oh, the deck's doing what I want it to do. And then we've got 3 or more artifacts. We draw 2 instead.
still one step behind.
Got a land drop. Got our Mind Stone. And we can even cast Scholar of Ages. Oh my god. I don't think we want to, though. I think we want to hold open our spells. Well, he's a 3/3, but it just taps me out completely. I think we can wait. 17 cards left. Yeah, so what we can do is we can Blood of Tears and then put Scholar into play, maybe, something like that, and then get Mythos of Illuna. Niv Mizzet Reborn. No. Nah. Nah. No. No. Nah. We actually, in theory... Oh, I loved it. It was great. Loved every second. In theory, we could have let Niv Mizzet do its thing, because they've got 16 cards left, so they're really not incentivized at all to pick any of the cards, because it's just a massive card draw spell into a board wipe or a reset. So actually, that Disdainful Stroke was incorrect. But we were that far ahead that it really didn't matter. This is exactly what I imagined the deck was going to do. So the first game was a little bit meh, but this one was exactly as intended. So pretty happy with that. Hopefully we can continue that streak. 1-1. Okay, we're in, and I love the look of this hand, so we're going to keep it. We got plays all the way up the curve. So the question is, do we lead off with Fibblethip or Treasure Map first? Our opponent mulls twice. This might just be an easy game. Bit mana screwed, perhaps? Yeah, looks like this one's okay. I'm going to go with a 5-card hand. Alright, so we're going to go with an island. I think maybe we could actually do Treasure Map first, because we want the Scry. And, oh, well, now we got Temple. That's a tough one. I really just want lands to make this untapped. So if I went with Fabled Passage, or Fibblethip, sorry, drew a land, I'd be okay with that. I think we need to look for, like, board wipes, to be honest, though. Yeah, let's do Treasure Map. It's a weird one because I really need the untapped land and I need to kind of blind flip it for a midnight clock. Destiny Spinner, okay. Counter spells are not going to be too great until we find that board wipe. Yeah, I'll take the land, to be honest. So, Island, Fibblethip the Lost, draw a card. Set that up, keep stop again. More lands, now we're a little bit taking it too far now. 3 mana, take 2. Yep. And Jade Light Ranger. That could be just fine. Yeah, totally fine. Alright. Treasure Map. Get Psychic Corrosion. There is no better card. That is exactly the card we need. Alright, so now we're going to go Fabled Passage... Thin for a Plains. We kind of ruin our Scry a little bit, but I want the double white for Settle the Wreckage later down the line. And let's go Psychic Corrosion. And looking good. We got a blocker with Jade Light Ranger. Opponent's going to make their land drops, unfortunately, but should be able to get there. Oh, yeah. Happily. Got pump spells. Nope. Just putting on pressure. I get it. I get it. Alright. Activate Treasure Maps. Set up my next draw. Love it. Love me some extra turns. So, mill you for 2. Okay. And let's see. Got a lot we could do here. I think we're playing the untapped land. Yeah, I think it's untapped land and then Jace. And try to get that going. If he lives, we get an extra turn, and whatever they play next turn, in theory, can get bounced. Stomp and a land, and we got Mythos of a Luna for the Psychic Corrosion. Awesome. Do we want to go with Midnight Clock, then? Is that relevant? I don't think so. I think we want the Treasure Cove's draw effect. So let's just pass the turn. Wildborn Preserver. That can kill Jace. In theory. Looks like it's not necessarily going to, but if they've got like a shock or a lightning strike, then he's gone. Escape to the wilds. Okay, we can actually bounce our Jace and take an extra turn. Reset his loyalty. Brontodon going into the bin. Love to see it. They do have the Armored Killer Gem Razor. Okay, so play a land. Khan's Temporal Sundering. Take an extra turn. I actually don't think we bounce Jace anymore. I think we just bounce the non-flashy individual. And draw a card to trigger Psychic Corrosion. Teferi, awesome. Milieu, 7 cards. We're doing it, chat. We are doing it. Milieu for 2. Good game. Time wipe. You're down to 3. Play Teferi. Play Mythos on Psychic Corrosion. And then draw with Teferi. And that is game. Wow! Wow! And there's Flood of Tears. Milieu for 4. There we go. Nothing in Arena right now shuffles the graveyard in. I will untap. And our opponent draws for the turn and loses. That was insane! I love Cube. It's so good. So good. Let's see what our opponent had. It's a really nice Gruul deck, to be honest. And so many cards could have dealt with our Psychic Corrosions as well. We saw the Gem Razor and the Thrashing Brontodon. The Gem Razor had a chance, but that chance was taken away. It's a sweet little list from our opponent. It's got lots of Dino synergy. I like it. No actual, like, I guess, Dino-specific payoff, but it's thematically on point, which is another reason why I kind of like Cube, because you can really just build whatever you want a lot of the time. Absolutely love it. Alright, let's go for the next game. Alrighty then, we're in. We've got the one, the only Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, and Treasure Map as well. I'm okay with this one. We're on the play again. We're getting quite lucky with those on-the-play situations. I wonder how much of an effect that actually has on win rate. Typically, on-the-play gives you about bare minimum, like... ooh, which one are we going with now? We've got options. I think it's Treasure Map. Look for the land drops we need. Gives you like a 3 or 4% advantage minimum, I would say. Dreadhorde Invasion, that's okay for us. We want to find a land here. I really wish I hadn't attacked my island, but we did get a land anyway. I'm not going to bottom this hoping for an untapped land, to be honest, so we can play Fibblethip. I think I will just take it. Take what I am given and hope it's good enough. We're now in a weird spot, though, where we need double white, but we also want triple blue. But I think the important thing right now is blue. Let's keep looking for those land drops. Good stuff. And I don't think Blink of an Eye is what we want to do. I could see Thassa's Intervention X1, and I don't think Fibblethip's what we want to do. So I think we're passing here. We're seeing what our opponent can do. We've got to be really careful with our life total, so I am tempted to go for the Blink of an Eye on the Frostodon. And I don't want to lose 1 life playing our Fibblethip. If I wait, I get the Blink withdraw. I don't know if that matters. We've got Settle the Wreckage. I just want to slow them down. I'm just going to bounce the Frostodon and save a bit of life. Okay, so that'll make them spend most of their turn next turn actually replaying that. Or most of this turn. Assuming that's what they want to do, yeah. Just settle the Wreckage for later, hopefully. Alright, so let's do Treasure Map. Again, I think I'm just looking for lands. Cool. Got the double white on our treasures as well. It's a tough spot to be in. We can't Jace plus settle. Could Intervention take 5 damage? Or 6 damage, actually. Or I could have an Intervention X1, but use treasures. I think that might be worthwhile. We get to either eat a removal spell or block 3 points of damage on the Amass token. Which again, we're going to take 1 from the Frostodon for that. Chromatic Lantern. Don't want to play that. That's certainly not worth a treasure. Okay. So we are going to chump your 3/3. And take 3 down to 14. And they pass. They're playing around counter magic. Appreciate that. I believe this is our plan. But not like that. I think I just want to... Oh, is it... Yeah, I think we just want to do this. Draw with Jace. See if I can hold up and settle the wreckage to keep him safe. Give me a land so I don't have to use treasures. As many, at least. Ugin and a land. And we got our land for the turn as well. Yeah, we passed the turn. Opponent loses 1 life. Makes a 4/4. Settle the wreckage is definitely happening here. I think we need our card advantage with Jace. And I'm assuming... Ooh, it's all coming at us. No respect. Take 7. Ooh. We could take 7. We've got Thassa's Intervention if it goes horribly wrong. We just don't take any damage after that. I'll take this 1 bit of damage here. I'm trying to get more value on the Settle the Wreckage. Maybe it's greedy. Rekindling Phoenix. You're going to play around Settle, aren't you? I think we've got to X2 this. They're going to play around Settle, and we're going to have a real bad time with Rekindling Phoenix. So let's just get that sorted. Psychic Corrosion. Good, 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 good. Alright. Let's play you. Draw our card with Jace. Trigger Corrosion. There's a Liliana. Exclusion Mage isn't bad. It's not bad. But I don't know if we can drop our Settle the Wreckage right now. Let's draw with Treasure Cove. Get Chemisters. 19 cards. Alright. Amass again. I feel like we've hit a lot of their really good stuff, like Liliana and Rekindling Phoenix, just on the mills. Yeah. Get settled, bro. No more damage. Can actually play Scholar and get settled back as well. All depends on what they play here. If they play 1 big creature, we've got the Exclusion Mage. Otherwise, I might actually find the time to play Scholar and get back Thassa's Intervention and settle the wreckage. They'll obviously play around it, but that might be okay. Could even be Settle plus Blink. If they do try to play around it, I'll just bounce whatever they swing in with. They only had 1 more basic left? Oof. Oof. Alright, so Settle is just straight up Wrath of God. With Exile advantage. I think they're going for the Ox here, which it seems like a really weird idea. They're hovering their graveyard though, and that's really... Okay, discard your hand, draw 3. I just saw a Jaya's Immolating Inferno. Love it. Risk factor. I will decline. You can draw 3 cards. I think our opponent's conceding, don't you? Duress me. Can't take Exclusion Mage and can't take Scholar. So you got to take the cards that can either be played from the graveyard or the Chromatic Lantern I don't care about. Non-creature. Goodbye, Chemisters. Alright, so we trigger, draw, hit them for 2. They've got 9 cards left. I think we can get them really easily. Let's take for 2 more, draw a card, hit 2 more. Brazen Borrower, solid. Got 5 cards. 4, 3, 2, 1. I can do Chemisters. I think that's what I want to do. I want to Exclusion Mage, bounce the Ox, so they don't have that to attack us with. And then we'll just Chemisters to draw 2 and mill for 4. So they can't play Ox, otherwise they'll lose. So we basically removed it with an Exclusion Mage. Plague Crafter we don't care about. Ladies and gents, I think we got him. Ult's at 8. Can't do the Jace ult, unfortunately. Yeah, we've got Haste Protection. Not that I know what they could haste out with that deals 7 damage, but who knows? Can Risk Factor, I'll let you draw. And then I'll mill you with Chemist's Insight. Alright, yeah, I don't think there's much reason to pretend that I don't have counter magic. So we'll just pass, we'll mill them for 2 on our draw, we'll mill them for 4 with Jace, and that'll be it. Some Judiths. Solid. This is a matchup that I thought I would have a really bad time with, but we seem to have curved out quite nicely and played around just the right things. Although there was obviously a really weird Ox there, which I don't particularly get. We're going to look at their deck in a second and see what cards they discarded, because I know Jaya's Immolating Inferno was among them. And that's a card they straight up just can't cast. So it makes sense there that they would not want that card. I think it was like loads of lands and active treasons. So like dead cards, essentially. Let's have a look. So it was around the time... It was around here. So they kind of had Immolating Inferno, Active Treason, Shock, Swamp, Infuriate. I think that was their hand. And all of them are really bad. So I actually... As weird as that Ox play was, and it was kind of like a losing move, I don't think these were winning cards. Where's their legendary, actually? Oh, they've got Judith, and that's it. Oh no, we exiled some stuff. Eugene, Liliana. Yeah. Okay. It's a lot of creature removal, not enough Planeswalker or enchantment removal. Not that they have the colours for that. I don't know if Farrakha's Libation's in the cube. I guess it could be. That's one way to get rid of Psychic Corrosion. But yeah, solid stuff. What are we now? I think we're 3-1? 2-1? 3-1? Let's find out. Oh, a Ravnica Pack. Yeah, 3-1. Solid. We just need to get to 5 and then we go completely even. Well, technically, 0 wins was completely even because we didn't pay for this one. But let's pretend that we were paying for it. And we need 2 more wins. 2 more wins before we lose 2 more times. So, alright, let's do this. Alright, we're in. And on the draw. This hand, I don't know if we can keep it. We're basically top decking from turn 1. The land drops are nice. Disdainful Stroke is useless until turn 4. Mythos, useless until turn 4. Tezzeret, useless until turn 5. And then Karn, Karn's Temporal Sundering, useless until turn 6. And we need Tezzeret in play and alive. It's just not, it's not a hand we can keep. 2 lands, Corrosion, and too many expensive cards. Again, I think this is a mull. As much as I love all of these cards individually, I don't believe I can keep it. And I think this is actually the pinnacle of a good hand. So let's get rid of the card we can't cast. We'll do a land, because we got the Fibble Thip and the Blink of an Eye. Is a weird one. Early Corrosion, though, seems solid. If we can get there. Island, okay. And we're in Bant. So, potential 4 counter spells. Jace every time. Love that boy. There's Treasure Map. Okay. Gives us something to do if our opponent plays nothing. But I'd like to be able to get Psychic Corrosion down and keep it down. Hope our opponent doesn't have things like Night of Autumn. Oof. Alright, well, let's swing for 1. See if we can get some flashing going on. Maybe? No? Okay. Then we're going to crack this for blue so we can cast out Jace on time, and then we'll play Treasure Map. Run it with Growth Spiral, that's totally fine. There's a plains. Alright, so we're going to go grab an island, and we'll play treasure map. I don't see a great deal of value in pretending we have counter spells that we don't. And I'm sure we don't need Questing Beast. Questing Beast? Questing Beast would be a thing that I would hate and would want to bounce. I don't think we need Blink of an Eye, is what I was getting at. Favorable wins with Setessan Champion. Absolute mad lad. I need a land drop. And I would prefer it now. So I am going to, yes, take the chance at drawing a land with the risk of not playing Corrosion on time. But we managed to make it happen, so let's play our Psychic Corrosion and pass the turn. Could play Jace next turn and then play Spark Double. But I think Treasure Map looking for another land with Blink of an Eye open is probably the better play. Baffling End my Fibblethip, by all means. Does draw them a card, for sure. Resetting Champion's also quite nice as well. Alright, take 3. So it's like a Bant Chantress. I think I am going to Treasure Map. Because that looks like counter magic. Evolving Wilds. Ugh. That doesn't really let me cast anything anyway. So I'm going to bottom that and see if we can get like an island. Blood of Tears. Yeah, you look like a counterspell deck. Alright, so we're going to pass and see what our opponent does. We got that upkeep trigger with Treasure Map. It's going to Brazen Borrower my Corrosion. That's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. Could bounce Champion now. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Although, does this say when it leaves the battlefield I get a 3/3? It's probably not got much value in it, to be honest. Would I want them to counterspell me? It would allow me to basically resolve any of my good stuff here. I think I'm just going to make them replay that. I don't know. Could use Blink of an Eye as bait. Alright, so there's Setessan Champion. And they pass. Yeah, they've 100% got counterspell. 100%. Which makes things real awkward. No. Brazen Borrower. You're not bad. So they bounce my Corrosion in order to counter it. So I don't think I'm going to play it. Although I do get to resolve a Jace later. What's my alternative? Just holding up and Brazen Borrower? It's not the worst thing in the world, I suppose. Yeah. If we can find Thassa's Intervention or Didn't Say Please, that'd be nice. You're a 4/2. Favorable wins is one hell of a card. Alright. Probably gonna have to bounce you, which is really weird. But I think I'm gonna do it. I don't want to take that damage. Alright, I think we're at that stage now where setting up Flood of Tears is probably ideal. I want to get rid of the treasures first, because they're going to get bounced for no value. So I'd like to draw with them. Let's see if we can find a counterspell first before we play Psychic Corrosion into the counter magic. Exclusion Mage. I guess we could. Anything that we play is getting bounced anyway. I think I'm going to go for it. Go Exclusion Mage, bounce Setessan Champion. And then if they want to bounce anything with Brazen Borrower, I can just shove my Brazen Borrower in front of it during combat. It's got to be counter magic. It Has to be. I don't believe that it isn't. Not one bit. Where are my counter spells? To bounce a token. Do it, you coward. Do it. Got him. Alright. Plays Brazen Borrower. I'll throw a mine in the way or have it countered. I'm happy with either one of those outcomes. Yes? Yes? Be nice if you'd, haha, there it is! God, I'm good at this game. Oh, those were some really good cards. Probably not wonderfully castable cards, to be honest, but cards nonetheless. Ooh. Could play Tezzeret and have a blocker. Could have Disdainful Stroke. I think I've just got to go for Tezzeret. Resolved really quickly. We know they don't have 2 mana counter spells. I will make a Thopter and pass. Try and get Spark Double on it. That would be really good. Send it at me. I'll block, but only because I think you've got some sort of Rally of Wings effect maybe, and you're just trying to clear out this game as quickly as possible. 17 cards. So they shouldn't really be too afraid of getting milled. Time Wipe. Got Bounce Brazen Borrower. This feels good for me. So now, if they let my turn go, I get a draw or a Thopter with Tezzeret. So they have to go for Brazen Borrower now, which means they drop down the blue. They're going to bounce and play Setessan Champion. Okay. Love a land. That's Setessan Champion. And we got Chemisters. Okay. Let's think about this. It's just so awkward on every single line here is awkward. I think I'm gonna go with Jace. And start the mill train. It's so awkward. If we had one more mana, we got like Corrosion plus Jace, and it feels so much better, but maybe I can get the mill here, get a land from the draw. Mythos. It's actually not too bad if we can get Spark Double going. Make a copy of a non-legendary Planeswalker. It's another possible combo that I did consider to be potentially an outcome of this game. Alright, we're going to 8. What do you have? Blink of an Eye with Kicker. Alright, I might have to just fire off the Flood of Tears. Rupture Spire. I don't even have my double white, which is really quite the tilt. And there's my island. Yeah, I haven't got anything set up. Baffling End kind of takes care of its own token as well. If I went Tezzeret and I ticked up, I would be blocking Brazen Borrower and taking 3 maximum, I want to say. 7 if they manage to bounce the token. think that's probably it. I just feel like we're so far on the back foot, though, that it's every single move we make is just painfully not good enough. Oh my god, Tessin champion with corrosion. And there goes the lands I really wanted. Ugh. Staggering Insight on Gilded Goose. That's 5 damage just off of the unblocked stuff alone. And they get to draw with Gilded Goose as well. Yeah, this has got to be Flood of Tears next turn. There's too much going on now. So if they can deal with this token, I am dead. If one of those 2 cards is a bounce spell or a removal spell, I'm gone. Curious Obsession. 4, 5, 6. Mill me again. Alright, so we live. Block there. Go to 2. And they draw again. Mill me down to 11. It's a time wipe, but I don't have the lands. Oh, come on. Give me a plains. Midnight Clock. Yeah, it's just got to be Flood of Tears. If I had a white source, this would be so good. But I do not. I think I'm just going to lose to the Corrosion as well. Because they go Setessan Champion, Obsession, Staggering Insight. That's 6 cards on the next turn. Yeah, they've got me. They absolutely have me. I needed that time wipe. What else could I have? What else could be good enough? There are 8 cards. 7, 6, 5. I can get them to 4, I think. Play Psychic Corrosion. I can get them pretty close, but not close enough. Womp womp. I don't know about that, Jace. Yeah, we draw, we mill them. They go to 4 cards. 3 on the draw. Yeah, that'll do it. That will do it. Opponent's apparently got something else. Shark Typhoon Cycle. Sure. Bit of a win more. Alright, let's move on to the next game. We are 3-2 now. Alright, we're in and on the play, which is wonderful. We got a turn 1 Evolving Wilds for our island. I really like this hand, actually. Settle the Wreckage really sells it for me. Alright, so let's crack Evolving Wilds and grab our island. We've got turn 2 Treasure Map. Potential turn 3 Exclusion Mage as well. So this has got everything going for it. Even Midnight Clock next turn. Actually, that's probably what we're going to do. We're going to go land, Midnight Clock, and then do the Treasure Map. So we don't need the upkeep stop. Mono green so far. And passes. Interesting. Alright. Well, we're going to go with the Midnight Clock. Set that upkeep stop. I'm really liking where we're at. Colossal Majesty, yeah, that's a real slow play. Which Exclusion Mage is going to punish really hard. Alright, we got an island. We don't need one because we got one for the turn already. And I'm going to be tapping out a little bit more. Treasure Map to Fairy, very good. If we can get that down very early, we will seal the deal. And yep, it's past the turn. We've got an activation with Midnight Clock, and then we get to flip Treasure Map, play to Fairy. All sorts of fun shenanigans are going to occur here. There's Gorklaw. That's not going to be good enough. So let's you, tap you. Look for land. Gilded Lotus. No. Give me a land. Sparky D. Oh, boy. Oh, you're in for a world of hurt, opponent. Alright, so we could go to Fairy. Teferi minus. There's a few lines of play that kill Teferi by doing this. But I think I want to take that chance. It's like Questing Beast is really bad. Not that we could do a great deal about that, except for by not playing Teferi. But if I get to untap with Spark Double, this game is just over. I think that is honestly it. We got a Treasure Cove to draw a card. Stonecoil Serpent, yeah, we just don't care. We just do not care. And, oh my god, quad. Triple Teferi by the looks of it. So we're going to draw a card, look for a land drop. There it is. Alright, we're going to then Spark Double. Look at this, are you ready, chat? Draw a card. This is why I love Cube so much. Mythos of a Luna. Copy non-legendary. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Non-legendary Teferi. Took Stonecoil Serpent. Oh no, it's multicolored. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Stonecoil can only get rid of one Teferi. And we also untap 6 lands. So I've got Settle the Wreckage open, and it doesn't matter. GG. Well played. Have fun. I am going to settle the Stonecoil Serpent in a heartbeat. So we get to see different versions of Teferi. We've got yellow bordered Teferi, black bordered Teferi, weird copied Teferi. We got a Settle the Wreckage ready for you, and that's where they'll explode. Told you. I'm just that good. Alright, that's 4 and 2. That was absolutely nutty. Oh boy. Not gonna lie. That's why I put this card in here, because I knew there'd be some non-legendary stuff. I mean, the primary target is obviously Psychic Corrosion, so we have 2 mill effects. But Spark Double being in here and having like Gilded Lotus is a really good lock piece. Just seemed so solid. Even having Scholar to pull this back again and make additional copies. It's like we can copy Scholar of Ages, or whatever it's called, with Mythos of a Luna, and the copy brings back Mythos. So we get basically infinite of whatever we need in a nutshell. It's just so good. So good. Let's go for another game. Alright, we're in. On the play, I think with a Temple of Enlightenment to lead, I'm happy with this hand. It's slow. It is obviously slow, but if we let anything through, we've got the Time Wipe, and we also probably at that point have the mana for it, so I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to hope that Temple shows me something nice. It's also the best possible turn to play a Temple. A 3-drop Exclusion Mage with a Mythos of the Luna on 4 seems good. Dauntless Bodyguard. Alright, so we have got the aggro deck to deal with by the looks of things. We're just going to go with Island and we're going to pass. Double blue scares people, so you want to intimidate them from turn 2 whenever possible. Are we up against mono white? I know Knights is a thing. They just went land pass. Opponent, did you know that you just went land and pass? Not seen too much of that in my time. Do I play Exclusion Mage to bounce the Dauntless Bodyguard? I think I do. Reason being, they didn't have anything to do on 2, and they didn't have any 1-drops, which means that they're probably dealing with 3-drops. So by playing that Dauntless Bodyguard again, they're just going to do nothing, in theory. Or they're going to play a 3-drop here, and then I can bounce it. Cool. Not sure I care about that one, though, to be completely honest. So I think we're just going to go with the Mind Stone. And yeah, just hold up and didn't say please. Excuse me, Exclusion Mage. Your job is not to attack. It's to sit around and be useful later. Dauntless Bodyguard. Don't care. Black Blade. That one's a little more like I should care. Yeah, I think I'll care about that. Dawn of Hope, God's Willing, Resplendent Angel. I'm really happy for the God's Willing going. I'm sure that would have tripped me up at some point. No blocks. So we've got to be careful with the Dauntless Bodyguard, because it does give Indestructible to a creature, so the Time Wipe's not actually just straight up a board wipe at the moment. Though it does allow me to bounce my Exclusion Mage back, which is really nice. I think I'm just going to bounce Splendor Mare. To be honest, I think just slowing them down's fine. Let's make them replay that. It also removes the Indestructible clause, because it's going to have a new instance of it now. So now Time Wipe looks a lot better. Divine Visitation. Alright. Island's not great. Not great at all. I believe I am passing here. Yeah, I'm passing here. I don't think I'm in any rush to do anything. I'd like to set up a good Time Wipe. If they go all tokens, or token synergy on us with the Divine Visitation, then I've just got the Time Wipe. There's no that can really change that. I just wonder whether or not I crack the Mind Stone. No blocks. I do have 2 Midnight Clock activations. Yeah, it's probably best that we get that going before our opponent finds a disenchant. So let's take that up a turn cycle. And see what we're doing. Evolving Wilds. Not great. But we will crack it. Do I need a 3rd white? What situation will I find myself in where a 3rd white is ideal? I don't think there is one. I think we either settle the wreckage and it's basically a tap out. So this would leave me with 2 mana. Not sure I care. I might just go for Mythos on Exclusion Mage. And just bounce the Splendor Mare. Use the copy to block the Dauntless Bodyguard. Since I'm going to Time Wipe and bounce the original copy. So slow them down. Opponent's deck is not quick enough. Get him for 2. Then again, I can't really speak too much on that one, because I know my deck's certainly about as dirtly as it gets. But I've got board wipes to back my dirtliness up. Theirs is presumably supposed to be an aggro deck. Other than Divine Visitation, we've only seen 3 drops. History Benalia, sure. That I'm gonna... Ooh, yeah, it is Angels instead of Knights. Splendor Mare. And yeah, I'm just gonna offer that up. Counter on the Midnight Clock. Up to 9. Settle the Wreckage. Against mono white, all the lands are not going to be ideal. But having both board wipes is now very nice. So I think I'm going to pass, and I'm going to... I'm not decided. It's either settle or play Brazen Borrower so I can Time Wipe it back to my hand. I'm undecided, to be honest. 6-7. This just doesn't feel like a good settle to me. I think I'll take the 7. Oh, we are going to actually get an entirely new hand now that I think about it. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're going to get a whole new hand, so I'm just going to put Exclusion Mage back in my deck. And just take 4. If I don't find the board wipe, yeah, I've got to sell. I've just got to sell this. I won't trigger Midnight Clock until I've decided whether or not I want this time wipe, because it's going to be on 11 on my turn, and then 12 on theirs gives me 7 cards in hand. Archon. Yeah, you see, this just looks like a great board wipe to me. So, Midnight Clock goes to 11 for Jace. Jace is a beautiful boy, he's just a little bit too expensive. Time wipe. Bounce your creatures. Return mine. And do we just play Exclusion Mage as a 2-2, or do I want him for value later? I've got Brazen Borrower to play. And that's not going anywhere. Yeah, let's just get a brand new 7. We might have counter spells. Like Didn't Say Please getting put into our deck. So Midnight Clock does its thing. Draw 7 cards. We get our Jace, we have Essence Scatter, lots of lands, and a Tezzeret is solid. Okay. Really, really happy with this hand. Divine Visitation looks a whole lot worse when I've got infinite 1/1s to block with. Realm Cloak Giant as a 7/7. No. Absolutely not. Alright. Yeah, boy. Victory. So that is 4-2? 5-2. We have gone even, ladies and gents. That is 4,000 gold, the price of this cube. I have not paid a single penny into this game, assuming, of course, that I paid in the first place, which, as mentioned, I did not. So, anything from here is just pure upside, which I really like. We've still got 2 rares and 1 uncommon, so it's 40 gems and an uncommon, so pretty good. Pretty good. And then we've even got a little pack opening at the end, but spoilers, it's gems. It's always gems. Alright, might be the last game, we'll see. Otherwise, we might end up going 7-2. I don't know. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. This deck is quite clunky, so there's a good chance that the 7th player we go up against is probably going to be better than us, admittedly. But let's go for it. Let's positive attitude and all that. Let's do this. Alright, we are in on the draw, which is not ideal, and I would say this hand is also on the list of not ideal. We don't do anything until turn 3, which is Didn't Say Please, and we have no idea if it's even relevant or not. If we knew we were up against control, I might keep this hand, but I think the likelihood is that we're not, so I'm going to take the mull, and this looks much better. Okay, so we're going to keep this, and it's a tough one. I think it's going to be a land, so we've got Fibblethip for our, hopefully, 3rd land drop off the draw there. Chromatic Lantern gets us to our 4th, and then hopefully we get an early Teferi with Settle Backup. I think that's the plan, and we certainly want to keep 1 white source to make sure that that comes to pass. It's a swamp, and we've got a Fabled Passage to lead with. Okay, so I'm going to grab... I think I'll grab our other white source, so we've got Settle the Wreckage. We do have Chromatic Lantern, of course, but we have to assume that this might actually go. So you always want to fix your mana, even though there's a good chance that you don't need to. Early Teferi against a mono-black deck. There's a chance that they've got like Vraska's Contempts and Eat to Extinctions. I'm not entirely sure what the removal looks like in this format. So that is a possibility. And I'm not really ramping into too much here if I go for... Actually, if I went with Mind Stone, I've got 3. Yeah, actually, we can do Mind Stone. Next turn, we do Land, Chromatic Lantern, Fibblethip, something like that. Mono black. And passes. And we got our double blue. Alright, so we're going to go Chromatic Lantern. I think we were just winning this because our opponent's doing nothing. Lands a 5 colour now. And we got Fibblethip. There's Jace. Alright. Yeah, short of Planeswalker removal, which I think I might just throw Jace into. Oh, it's green-black. Migration Path grabs their green source. So they took a really weird hand. And they're probably going to get punished for it, because now I get to Teferi with Essence Scatter backup. So I'm assuming it's creatures that they're trying to play here. And we got a land drop for next turn. Yeah, there's no way we lose. Alright, grab the islands, again, just in case they kill the Chromatic Lantern. We want to have that blue open. Play a big boy. Oh, Liliana. Ugh. Okay. You know, that's pretty good. But, you know, it's just how it is. That's how it be. And Milieu. You can have your Liliana. Enjoy. I'll just play another Brazen Borrower. And bounce it. Yeah, it's a bit of an awkward Jace there for sure. Could actually mill myself. Yeah, I just don't know. Don't know if that's worth it, especially with a Disdainful Stroke. I didn't even notice I'd drawn that. That's how much of a dominating performance we've got right now. Game's over. I will block. I would put their chance of winning at... well, now I'd put it at probably maybe 5%. Psychic Corrosion. Milieu. Kiora. Looks like a Super Frenzy, kind of. Oh, there's Carney T. Alright, we've got to be careful with Carney T.
No time for a break.
God damn, this game's over. Alright. Play treasure map. Tap the map. Temple to the bottom. Just want pure gas at this point. We're on flexing duty. 2 planes here. Again, for obvious reasons. Now we know they're in green and they actually can take care of artifacts, so having settled the wreckage open now, not that we really need it, but I guess there's a possibility. You can have that. Yeah, sure. Enjoy. Have fun.
Time for plan B.
That's not the...
As soon as I think of one.
That's not the line that we're winning on anyway. Teferial is just not really a concern of mine. Midnight Clock. It's probably not gassy enough. Milieu. Great Henge was a really not great play for them. Since they get access to... I don't even want to crack the Evolving Wilds, do I? Just not bother. Why would I do that when it's a 5-color land? I guess to stop myself from drawing more lands. You're at 14. You're at 10. Poly K. Blink of an Eye's good. Oof. There's some good cards in there. We'll get to those soon enough. We'll look at them later. Alright. Actually could have cracked my Evolving Wilds technically there and it would have made a little bit of sense. So if they play any creatures, they draw cards, which directly benefits us. It looks like they're going with Pelucranos, which doesn't particularly do anything here. The only really big thing that I can see this doing for them is having like Thrash Threat or something like that, of that sort, that can fight a Planeswalker. Essence Scar. And we can actually just bounce in response, so it's really not an issue. And yeah, just blink that token to keep Teferi around, I guess. Yep. Blink with Kicker, draw a card. Got Brazen Borrower if they play anything. Game's so over. Down to 6. And we got enough triggers now. Oops, excuse me. Yep, goodbye. 6 and 2. 6 and 2, 6 and 2. I love Cube. It's just so good. Alright, we earned 1,000. Let's go for our final game. See if we can get the grand total of 6,000. Netting 2,000 gold would be really nice. Well, yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm happy either way. I'm absolutely ecstatic. Just, I couldn't be happier right now. But let's see if we can be even happier. Who knows? Alright, come on. Ooh, this hand's interesting for sure. I think we're keeping this one. So we got a turn 1 Temple of Enlightenment, which is not ideal, but we do have lots of mana rocks, which should get us towards any of our big spells, and we've got Chemisters to draw them. My only concern is that our opponent with their Chandra Sleeves is playing aggro, but Temple of Mystery makes me feel a little bit better about that not being the case. Love an Exclusion Mage. Turn 2 Mind Stone, turn 3 Lantern or Exclusion Mage, we'll see which one they go with. Field of the Dead, so they're going to probably try 5 color. The deck hopefully should be clunky. Wander's Enclave, Cloud Conceer. That's not really a thing that I want to bounce, to be honest. So we're going to leave it alone. Let's go with Island, Chromatic Lantern, pass the turn. We've got 4, 5, 6 mana next turn. Got options. We got options. Vanifar. I'll bounce that. That's a 4 mana do nothing. We love those with this deck. We love 4 mana do nothings. We're gonna grab. We got the double planes anyway in hand, so we'll go Exclusion Mage. Make them take their entire turn all over again. And we have Essence Scatter if we care, which I think we do. I don't think we want our opponent trading up cards. Sea Dasher Octopus. No. I want to build up this Scholar of Ages now. So they pass, they do nothing. We're gonna play the Chemisters so that Scholar of Ages gets an extra target. Time Wipe and Temporal Sundering's nice. Alright, we'll swing for 2. Krosan Tusker, alright. So what we really want to see now, I think, is our Planeswalkers, so that we can set up the Karn's Temporal Sundering. I'd also accept a really good Time Wipe here. I'd be okay with that. Is that a really good Time Wipe? I think it is. I think it is. I think that's a pretty solid Time Wipe. Yeah, let's do it. Bounce Exclusion Mage, kill everything else. And not play it back again. My only concern with that is Field of the Dead, which every land now is officially going to be a zombie. We didn't take Field of Ruin early on, which could come back to bite us. It was definitely one thing that I thought might come back and be an issue. I think we're going with Scholar here. Scholar gets Essence Scatter and Time Wipe, I guess. Definitely Essence Scatter, because we can play it. Yeah, I think it's just Time Wipe. And then... Oops. Oh, did they have a creature they wanted to resolve? Next turn we've got Exclusion Mage. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Don't want to take damage. We got Exclusion Mage to trigger Flood of Tears. Flood of Tears bounces Scholar. Scholar gets bounced, brings back Flood of Tears. And we've got ourselves a flooding loop, which I think is pretty good. Also, we have an extra turn spell, which we're going to take right now. Mythos of a Luna. Oh my god, this is so good. So good. Alright, we'll take our extra turn now. We will bounce the indestructible expensive spell. And we will pass the turn. Settle the Wreckage is very good. I am going to Mythos of a Luna, the Scholar, with the copies doing their thing. Gonna get Mythos of a Luna and Essence Scatter, and then we're gonna fight a zombie token. Okay, and then we're gonna Exclusion Mage. We're gonna bounce this token, and we can't really swing. Alright, we got a loop, ladies and gents. It's a loop that actually stops when we get our board wiped, but I don't think that's really going to be a concern, to be honest. Maybe we can find a Didn't Say Please or something like that, and we can close it out. Shadow Spear is very good. Ulamog is also very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with the Nylea. So we actually want to Flood of Tears to take them off of Nylea, so there's no Ulamog. We do have Settle the Wreckage for Ulamog, but it's going to exile 20 cards and that will kill us. And I guess we have the Essence Scatter as well, so it's not really a concern. I mean, I really just don't have to fire off any board wipes or anything. I can just go these two, have it fight here, and then I've got a swing. And you can block wherever you want. And I've got 3 copies of the Scholar now, so Ulamog can't stop that. Yeah, I'm just going to pass the turn. Let's hold up an Essence Scatter, so Ulamog is dead if they draw a land. Jace, sure. Can't really mill me. Milling me just gives me value. But they're going to do it anyway. Eh, it didn't give me any value there. They're quite lucky on that one. And there's Incubation Druid. We're going to counter that because we're going to Mythos of Aluna next turn anyway. And get it back. We'll also Chemisters as well while we're at it. So that we've got more stuff. Yep, sure. Hit me for 3. I'm fine with that. I'll draw 2. There's Jace. And no blocks. So they're at 10, 3, 6, 9. Yeah, we got lethal. Cool. Good game. This deck did absolutely everything that I hoped and dreamed it would. Good lord. Every single combo that I noticed when we were picking cards, I think we've managed to pull off in these 7 wins. We have gone 7-2. I really wish we hadn't lost. In fact, the first loss we got was game 1, and that looked pretty sketchy. Ooh, what did I get? Clothis. It's not bad. It's not bad. And then we claim. We get 40 gems, as I told you we would. We got the 6,000 gold. And it takes us back to the menu so we don't get to enjoy it. Okay. Well, we also got a Ravnica Pack as well from the Mastery Pass. So let's open that and get 20 gems. Good stuff. We got the double 20 gems. This has been a thing for a while now. Look at that mana symbol. Not mana symbol. Set symbol. And then we get to do some Mastery Pass stuff. I don't even know why I activate the Mastery Pass stuff, because I really hate the card styles. But I actually, you know what, I know exactly why I do it. I secretly hope that one day they change the card styles and make them look good. And if they did that, I would feel bad for not having them. I mean, maybe they can just implement a menu that turns them off entirely, because that'd be great. I just think that the swirling looks stupid and gives me seasickness, so yeah, I don't know. That was an absolutely fantastic Arena Cube draft for me personally. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I bet some of you had little faith that we'd get them 7 wins. I bet when I was building that deck, you were like, mono blue, he's gonna struggle. And after that first loss, you were like, ha, his deck doesn't work. Well, all you non-believers, I got 7 wins and I'm very happy with myself. I think we're gonna cube a little bit more. Really enjoyed my time with that. I really hope you guys enjoyed it too. Yeah, 7-2. Pretty happy. I mean, it's paid for itself and over, so there's really no reason for me not to go back in and pay 4,000 gems. This cube is awesome. Love it. Feel like every single card belongs in this cube. I've heard like there's problems with mono red, but we didn't actually face it, so, you know, not enough people know that mono red's a problem, I suppose. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, really help out the channel a great deal if you hit that like button and subscribe, especially on long videos like this one. It really helps out a great deal because the algorithm does not favor long form videos, which is why I don't do them very often. So any help that you guys can do, leave a comment, hit that bell icon, you know, leave a like, all that stuff. Anything like that really helps out the channel a great deal, and I appreciate it. Hopefully you've enjoyed. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.